Hi, fellow science educators. Charlene here with Edulastic. I'm really excited to share with you Spark Science today. Spark Science really provides science instructors high quality NGSS aligned assessments to track student progress. Spark Science is arranged in a playlist, which is a feature available on Edulastic Premium and Enterprise subscriptions. Playlists are a great way to bundle your assessments, activities into an organized fashion, such as project-based learning, pacing guide alignment. But in this particular case, Spark Science has done a lot of that work for you as a science instructor, especially if you're teaching next generation science standards content. So how Spark Science works is you would access the playlist feature on your account on the left-hand side here. And then under collections, it's going to live as its own collection known as Spark Science. So what we've done with Spark Science is with each bundle, we've broken down the content into the different next generation science standards, disciplinary core ideas per grade level. So as you can see, if you're, 6th through 8th grade teaching life science, you click here. And while the playlist feature, you can create this playlist, Spark Science has done it for you. So essentially you have the whole year lined up for teaching life science in middle school. And as you can see, here are the different modules under life science. And as you notice here, which is one of my favorites, in particular, the claim evidence reasoning prompts are included with life science and earth science, and physical science is coming out very soon. But with the claim evidence reasoning prompts, it's a great way to help build literacy in the content area. And so if you preview this, you'll notice that really each claim evidence reasoning provides some sort of passage or diagram and gives the students, it kind of sets the stage for a phenomenon. And then with that said, the students would make a claim or answer whether or not viruses are living things using background knowledge and use evidence from the Venn diagram. So as you can see here, we scroll down and hopefully you notice with the claim evidence reasoning prompt, we're bringing in those cross-cutting concepts as well as scientific and engineering practices. So analyzing and interpreting data, recognizing patterns in data, looking at systems and system models. So lots of great stuff here. And again, this is all pre-built and ready to go. You would have access with Spark Science to all of the modules, which really each module contains well over 1,000 standards aligned questions. So let me exit out of here. And again, you would just access Spark Science underneath the playlist collections. With Spark Science, you also get the STEM cross-curricular bundle for grades 9 through, or sorry, it looks like for grades 3 all the way up through grades 2, through grade 8. And what's nice about this is that the STEM reading bundles are organized by Lexile score. So again, another great way to help build literacy in the content area and incorporating that STEM content through reading comprehension. So you would get this along with your Spark Science subscription as well. So let's say I'm, a 6th grade life science teacher, and I'm like, yes, I love this lineup. I want to use it with my students, but I really want to customize this. Can I do that? The answer is yes. So from this page, you can do a couple of things. You can share it with a colleague. You can invite them to be a co-author on this particular playlist. but we're going to click in the, you can even clone it. I should say that you can clone any playlist as well. So let me go back here. So I'm going to use this in the upper right hand corner because I'd like to use this playlist with my 6th grade life science students. And it looks like it's already in my playlists. If it wasn't though, it would go right over to, if I expand the left side out, as you can see, I was hanging out in the playlist icon just a minute ago, perusing the SparkScience library. And now that I've clicked use this, the playlist gets switched into my playlist library at the top here. And as you can see, this screen looks very different from the other screen. Now I've got the ability to assign modules. So this is really great for self-paced learning, where you can assign this whole module to students up front, and you can set a due date on this module. So maybe you assign it Monday and it's something they're working through on their own time, but you can close it down at a particular date and time. So again, really good for self-paced learning. Or what you can do is, of course, teach structure of living things, do your fun activities, your fun engaging lessons, and then when you're ready to assess the kiddos on these standards, you would just assign assessments one at a time. What's great about Spark, the Spark playlist, is that as students work through a module, you'll not only get the overall module proficiency here and on the right-hand side, but you'll get each assessment proficiency as students and classes submit their work. This is really helpful for kind of throughout the year, circling back to a particular module, looking at, wow, which one, did my students score, or not so proficient on? That's an area we need to focus on, especially before end of course, before your state test prep and what have you. So I'm just going to exit out of this summary and show the customized content option, which is awesome. As a former educator, I love things that are pre-built and ready to use because it saves me tons of time. It really is kind of the building block to my curriculum here, but I need this to fit my needs a little bit more. So I can come to customize content. Now from here, it's as simple as searching or filtering as you would in Edulastic. We have a great filtering fields here, but you can use this inverted triangle, and you can search for maybe a test that you've written that's really great for structure of living things. You can search the entire library for another test. You can also filter by grade, by subject. You can even come to collection and look at anything that's in your school or district library, or anything that's certified. So you can filter and find tests easily this way. In fact, I'm just going to go to Edulastic Certified, and I want grade 6 science, and I'm just going to hit apply. So now I have a lot of grade 6 science assessments to choose from. And then it's as simple as, typing in a keyword. So I can type in living things, or I can type in a particular standard, which in this case is probably going to be better to do. In fact, I think I can just simply copy the standard and paste it right in. And so now I've got, some other assessments to look at. So, for instance, it looks like this one covers those standards. So what you can do is open, you can preview any assessment right here. I've got text to speech on. And it looks like, lots of different tech enhanced items, which is great. And then a lot of these items do fall within or cover the, all 3 dimensions of the NGSS framework. So you get your science and engineering practices, your cross-cutting concepts tied into your to the bundles. So let's say that I want to use this assessment. All I do is just grab it and drag it over. And maybe I want to make this the first one that the students take, for instance. I can hide these. So this is really good for if you're assigning a whole module. You can hide assessments and then maybe unhide as you go. So that's another like little tip there. You can also add resources. So you can pull in different videos and make those videos either a student resource, an activity, or even a teacher resource. So I'm just going to pull, an example here. These are all math, of course, but you can easily, add your science themed video. And then once that's saved here, it's just as easy again as dragging and dropping. And notice here, you can add a video as a student resource, which is really just supplementing your assessment. Maybe it's an overview or just providing a summary of that content. You can add it as a teacher resource, which I loved having this because you could have something like best practices for teaching structure, function, and information processing, and that won't be visible to students. Or you can make it a new activity. So students will maybe have to answer some check for understanding questions after they've completed watching the video. So I included it right here. So as you can see, highly customizable. You can even alter the order of the modules if you want. And then within each module, you can alter the order of the assessment. Maybe you want claim reasoning at the top. Another great an author to search is Jen Lee on our platform. She's using Edulastic for her wet lab reports. So you might want to check out some of her material. I think all her material is in the public library, and you can use, whether it's a simulation or any of her resources and add it to the playlists. So with Edulastic Premium, I think one of the huge benefits is you get a deep dive into your data, whether it's a single assessment, multiple assessments over time, standards covered, and your student profile report. The SparkScience, as well as any other Spark playlist, provides an additional insight, which is called insights. Imagine that. And with the insights, it's just another visual into how your students are performing and really how to focus your attention in a particular group of students. So for instance, this is going to track time spent on any assessment versus the performance. I have got some good fake data for this particular playlist. So I'm going to go to the insights here. And this is our Spark Math, but it's the same insight. So here we can see Roxana, doing really well, low time spent, high performance on all modules and all standards. So we're really going to have to provide some challenge work to Roxana, whereas Lance and Jose are really going to need my attention. They're working real hard. They're spending lots of time on their assessments. They're not, their performance is not not high. So this is certainly the quadrant that I want to focus my attention on. So another great insight here with the Spark playlists. So that wraps up Spark Science. I hope everyone enjoyed learning more about this particular playlist. Again, you would have access to all of the modules which have over 1,000 standards tied questions. The Earth and Life Science have your claim evidence reasoning. There's the STEM cross-curricular bundle. And we just hope that it makes teaching science a little easier throughout the school year. Thanks for watching.